Do my podcast about sports.
Bitty bitty bop 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 bop. Howdy, Ags. Welcome to the tailgate, home of Aggie football, which is a good thing. What's up, C Money?
Hey, buddy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Matthews Electric, full service electrical contractor in the Brazos Valley. No job too big, no job too small. Call Blaine at 979-220-6403. Light up your home, light up your life. Don't forget to email us at agstailgate@gmail.com. Send us any comments. Let us know what you think. Talk to us about this Aggie football team and college football in general. Today's rundown, we're going to do a little wrap up on Auburn. We're going to preview Mississippi State today, and we're going to go around college football. Corey, before we get started, how's life, man?
Good, buddy. Good. Real good. Just woke up from a little nap. Just ready to do this.
Love it, love it. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, Corey's a night worker, right? What time you normally go into work, Corey? Like at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning?
About 3:30, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
4 o'clock. Just depends.
Whew, that's early. That's
Yeah.
early. Hey, Corey, we had a couple comments on the YouTube. This is prior to the game on Saturday, so some of this is about the Auburn game, but Eric Hemphill, he said the Aggies would win 35-27. Also said previous to the Notre Dame game, 49-31 on the Notre Dame one. So he's got he had some Aggie favorable scores there, a little off on a couple of them, but in the ballpark.
Right.
Coog 2011 said that he would bracket Coleman and man up on Singleton. A lot of what we talked about there. Taylor Berry 6404 said he agreed with me on the take on Auburn plus the points, which I think ended up being right? 6.5 was the spread, right?
Yeah.
Didn't cover, so take Auburn plus the points. Makes him sick though. He also pointed out that the Florida defense got better when Bateman left, which is an interesting comment, obviously, as we hired him away from Florida, and it seems like their defense got better. We're going to talk a lot about this Aggie defense today. And so he did also note that the biggest question is whether we can stop the run, and specifically the quarterback run. So that's out there. And so let's see how that all played out on Saturday against Auburn. Good game, Corey. Good game. I wouldn't say quite as exciting as the Notre Dame game by any means, but Aggies at Kyle Field win 16-10. Low scoring affair. I actually, and we'll sort of talk through this for a bit, but I actually think that this game gives me more confidence in this Aggie team than the Notre Dame game did to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate the things that went on in this game. I'm excited. I'm more excited today after a win like that than before. Look, I don't think Auburn's a great team by any means. They certainly don't have a very good offense, but it's still a very quality win. Do not underestimate what Auburn could do. And I still think it's a quality win. What's your sort of overall take after the game on Saturday? Just kind of big picture on that, Corey.
Missed opportunities. We played a great game. We dominated that game. If you
Yeah.
watched the game, you thought we won the game by 3 touchdowns or more. Because, I mean, our defense dominated. We were moving the ball between the 20s. I mean, we're getting up and down the field. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, we were the better team. Is not a bad team. I
Not a
think
bad team.
they're missing some pieces here and there, but they have some real talent. I mean, that Coleman kid on the outside, he's good. I mean, their defense is solid.
I think the wide
But
receivers in general are pretty good. The Singleton
yeah,
kid is also very good, right?
yeah, they just I don't know. I didn't like Auburn's game plan against A&M. I think they could have done a better job, but
I feel one of the
you know,
things that they're missing is maybe a better head coach, but that's just me.
a head coach and a quarterback maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, so look, we'll start with the A&M defense because once again, man, I think this was the big piece, and I think this is big going forward for this team in general, right? But A&M defense gives up a total of 3 points because the other touchdown was a result of a pick that gave him the ball at the 2 yard line, right? So
Yeah,
let's put that one on the offense there. This A&M defense gave up a total of 3 points. 9 total first downs. Two of those were off penalties. Total 177 yards, 125 passing, 52 rushing. I mean, those numbers are ridiculous. I mean, sometimes you see those numbers in a quarter. That's for a game. That's
yeah,
pretty impressive.
that was very impressive. Very impressive. I mean, certain players stepped up you haven't seen play like they played this year. Your boy Hicks in the middle. I mean, he looked like the guy we've been talking about before the season started. What do you think?
To that point, Corey, and look, I want to start with this, but I want to come back to that point, but I want to start with this. I think and I went back and watched the game again. And look, to start with, I thought Mike Elko and that defensive staff just put together a much better game plan, right? You were seeing a lot more of that defensive line, sort of the four guys coming and taking care of business up front, right? Instead of dropping those guys up into coverage and things like that. They did do that some on third down, still on third downs and longs and things like that. A little bit,
Yeah,
a lot less, right? Early downs, man, they really played it straight up, allowed those linebackers to run to the ball a little bit better. But I thought that the game plan that they had going into this game, the changes that they made without as much, sort of looping and stunting on the defensive line, as much slanting one way or the other on the defensive line, dropping off defensive ends, I thought was the key, a big key to how this defense got better on Saturday. And this was one of the better run offenses in the league, and they absolutely dominated them up front. And I think that's a big, big testament to the changes and the things that Mike Elko did for this defense schematically. I think, it took them a few weeks. It took them a few weeks, but yeah, I believe that they went back and looked at that tape on from Notre Dame. They went back and looked at some of the tape from the UTSA Utah State game, and they said, "Look, man, this is when we're getting our ass kicked here. Is when we're doing these things." And he said, "Well, you know what? Don't do them, right? Like
yeah.
let's shift it up." And then when we were able to get him into some third and long situations, that's when you saw, the mad scientist Elko start coming out, and then he did brought some pressures, and we were able to get to Arnold 5 times, I believe it was five. I think it was 5 sacks, and
It could have
so
been more.
it could have been more, and it could have been
Yeah,
more.
he holds the ball a long time.
But I did. I thought it was their best game plan yet. And they did the other thing that we talked about is, they did a lot of double coverage on Coleman, right? That's a guy that can beat you on every freaking down. The dude is an absolute physical specimen, right? And he didn't do anything. Didn't do anything in this game, right? Let's
No, I agree with you. But the thing is, the Aggie defense, that Notre Dame offense is pretty good. I watched them play against Arkansas. They beat the shit out of Arkansas. I mean, anyway, anything they wanted to do, they did it. Run the ball, throw the ball.
They did.
Notre Dame's a good team. I've been
They
saying
are.
that. And that was a huge win because I don't know if Notre Dame's gonna lose another game. But
They don't
that
really
was
play
huge.
anybody, to be honest with you, so they shouldn't.
But yeah, I mean, USC might be their toughest schedule. I don't know if they play
They play
BYU
Boise
or
this
somebody
week,
else. I can't
actually. They
remember
play
who
Boise this week.
at Boise. So I mean, yeah, their schedule. I mean, they played Miami and lost. They played A&M and lost. I mean, it's too bad two of the top 4 or 5 teams in the nation right there. And they only lost A&M by one at home. It sucks, still a loss, but they're still in top 25. That is a good offense. Auburn is not a good offense, but I feel a lot better after watching this game with our defense than what I did going into the game. I was nervous, like, oh shit. I
Look,
thought we'd give up 20 or 30 points to Auburn also, to be honest with you, the way the season had gone.
and here's my other point, and you talked about it earlier, right? Some of these guys played their best game. You talked about Hicks. I thought he was, but really, there was a whole slew of them that I thought played their best game, including York, who Torian. I thought Torian played the best game of his career at A&M, dude. I mean,
He looked faster.
he looked fast. He was just
I
he
didn't
was
get it. I didn't see that all season. And
yeah.
he's been holding back.
I just think that when Elko simplified things and took some of that other stuff off the table, it allowed him to just run, and it benefited him more than anybody else, honestly. But other guys that I thought had their best game go, Will Lee, I thought had his best game this year by
Yeah, he
far.
played well.
By far. Chappelle, I thought, had his best game of the year by far. And Elko
Yeah.
talked about it in the press conference. Like Chappelle's just now getting fully healthy, right? Like this was a game when he's just now starting to get healthy. And so, I guess that makes a lot of sense, right? But those two guys are huge for the coverage area on this, for this defense, right? That makes such a big difference. And so those two guys playing as well as they did along with York Torian, man, I think that's what changes things. And I think they're able to play that way because of the fact that they simplified some things and they're able to play a little bit faster, don't you think?
Well, I agree, but we'll see if they learned coming up. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, is it going to go back to what we saw the previous 3 weeks, or we're going to see what we saw against Auburn? I hope we see what we saw against Auburn, but there's no telling. We've been disappointed before.
An interesting piece to all this, and Elko talked about it somewhat in his news conference this week. It's like, you know, because of the issues that they'd had in the running game, a lot of people assumed that maybe they weren't talented enough on the defensive line. But we've talked about it. They've got talent there, right?
They got a lot of talent.
T.O.'s been really good. Regis has
Yeah,
been really good. I think Dayon Hayes has been really good. Obviously,
Hayes played really well. Big
yeah,
sack last in the game.
yeah, absolutely. And then, so you've got these guys that have played very well. We've got some guys that have played well in depth as well. We talked about Hicks and how he's gotten better. But his point was, people assume that it was a talent issue. And he said, but it wasn't. It's not a talent. They weren't getting blown off the ball and just getting beat up front. It was gap responsibility issues, right? And so being in the wrong place, some of it being because of the scheme and things like that. And so they changed some things there in order to allow those guys to just play. And look what they did. They dominated up front an offensive line in Auburn that's been pretty darn good this year, right? I mean, in spite of the sack issues, because Arnold just holds the ball all over the place, right? But in the run game, they've been really
He
good and
does
they've
hold the
dominated.
ball. God, he holds the ball a lot.
Oof, guys afraid to throw it, man.
And I mean, I'm going to give our defense a lot of credit, but I'll also say this Auburn offense is not very good. I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, our defense looked really good, but I don't know if it's because Auburn's offense is really bad. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, and the week before they played Oklahoma, which everybody thinks is a great, great defense, right? And they had more rushing yards against Oklahoma than they did against us, right?
yeah,
So I do give them some credit there, right? They ran the ball all over Baylor, right? Another big school, right? Big program, right? Yeah, are they that good?
Baylor,
I'm not,
Baylor, come on.
but my point is that this defense did perform very well.
Oh,
It's
they
not
did.
like
I agree.
it's opponent, yes, but they also performed very well, right?
Right.
Um, Look, I think coverage wise, so much better. They gave up the one big play on the sideline where Lee was wrestling the guy for the ball, remember? Yeah, and but that was it. That was pretty much it. I mean, other than
Yeah.
that, there was nothing
Weren't
else, man.
No, I mean you weren't really nervous about them doing anything. The whole game was like, yeah, okay. I mean, what they had 0 first downs on, 0 for
0
13.
for 15 on third and fourth down, something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They not convert a single third or fourth down. That is impressive. This
Yeah,
is by far the best this defense has played, especially against the run, since Elko became the head coach. Um, I just I was so impressed, and not only was I impressed, but I think that this really takes the future of this team, the likelihood of this team doing well way down the road. I mean, it just makes it such a much more likely scenario, right? It excites
yep,
me more about the future of this team and what we can accomplish this year. I am just I just so excited for Saturday's game, dude. Just unbelievable.
I agree.
Um, so who's your defensive player of the game this past week?
Oh, I think York, after watching it and going back and thinking, that guy, he gave more effort this game, it seemed like, than he had all season. I mean, he was hitting after. I mean, he was chasing down Arnold. I mean, and all the crap we had talked about him in past. I mean, he's not great at it, but
He broke
damn,
up a
he
few passes, man. Had some
that's what
nice
I'm
plays
saying.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets his hands up. He anticipates well. He did a good job. I give it to York.
Yeah. I want to mention a guy that we haven't actually talked about a ton, and that's Ratcliffe. I thought that dude played a really good game. I think he's played really well this season and all in all, really. It's kind of been the other safety that's hurt us more than him, man. I've really been
Which other
impressed
safety
with
you talking
how,
about? Brooks?
huh?
You
Yeah,
talking about Brooks?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
um, I've really been impressed with the step he's taken from last year to this year because he's gotten a lot better, man. And he was a
Yeah.
big time liability, especially in coverage last year. And this year you're seeing him get to the places where he needs to get, and I've thought he's played very well.
I'll tell you what, Rick's had a couple of breakups too. He played a good game, I thought.
Oh yeah,
He
Ricks is
played good.
playing. I thought Ricks has played great all year. I think he's been
Yeah,
the best cornerback this year so far.
yeah,
And
he's played
I think
well.
the other two guys kind of joined him this past week. We'll see how that translates into Mississippi State, where we'll get into here in a bit, right?
All right.
So now let's go to the A&M offense because a lot of people will be concerned now. It's what happened to this offense? And look, they only put up 16 points. They had two missed field goals. They had a touchdown that came back on a dumb lineman down the field penalty. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Point being is, they had some opportunities. They also had two deep balls, which Marcel would have been should have been touchdowns that Marcel completely overthrew. But they still put up 414 total yards, 207 passing, 207 rushing. They gained 251 on the ground, and then there was some sacks there that took some of that back. But I really thought the offense, like you said, up and down the field, but we talked about it before the game, right? We said it last week, Corey. We said, look, this is a game in which they have to get Le'Veon involved, and he's got to be sort of the bell cow to go up against this defense, force this defense to get into things that they don't necessarily want to do, right? And played out, played out. And Moss was a monster on Saturday. Dude was a monster. I mean, I remember that play when they were backed up and he just gets in there, boom, and just carries a pile for 10 yards and a first down. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
what in the world? Like this guy was just, I mean, I'm just so impressed with that dude because he is a difference maker. And, getting him the ball just, I mean, increases your chances of winning, period. And this game, he showed how dominant he can be. 140 yards and a touchdown for Moss, for Le'Veon. Man, I was so impressed by this kid and the offensive line, to be honest.
No, I agree. There were some bright spots. Like I said, we moved the ball up and down the field the whole game, but I don't know if it's the officials seem like they're against us. The damn penalties still are driving me nuts. both sides of the ball this game. Both
Yeah.
sides. It wasn't even just the offense. Defense, Regis had a couple that were like, what the hell just happened, you know? But anyway, no, the offense they like I said, there was a lot of points left on the board. I mean, the Craver touchdown that got called back. I mean, that was dude, I stood up, I was like, holy shit, that was awesome. That was a badass play. Remember that one? Oh, dude, I was like, that's ball game. I was like ball game.
All
And
game.
then
Done.
and you see
It's
a
over.
flag out of nowhere, like what's that flag for? What was it? Offensive? Was it a lineman downfield or some stupid shit? Is that what
Yeah,
they called?
I believe it was Reed Adams.
Yeah, Reed Adams, like, and he wasn't even touching anybody. I mean, he wasn't even involved in the damn play. Basically, he was just standing there 2 or 3 yards downfield. I'm like, are you effing kidding me?
The dumbest penalty ever.
I was like, are you kidding me? Because that was a great play.
Awesome.
And then Kramer was a little bit. Rio was a little bit more quiet than what he has been this season, but the guy's just dominant. I mean, he any given second he can be quiet and boom, gone.
Gone. And
Yeah,
and one of those deep balls, by the way, he was wide open, man, and he missed him, right? I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Guy,
he's
the misses.
he just he's so explosive, man. Rio, right? He's so
Yeah,
explosive, dude, and and he makes plays, and he makes plays in freaking important times. That touchdown being an example. I mean, I think the guy's phenomenal, and and he continues to show it even on an off day, right? Like you said, KC picks up some of this, gets going a little bit. Yeah, I think he
yeah,
had 113, 7 for 113 on Saturday.
right.
But those numbers could have been bigger. I thought a couple of things. You said it. The penalties, freaking ridiculous. They got to cut out the damn penalties. Mike Elko
Just
talked a
dumb
lot about
penalties. I
that
mean,
during
I'm
the
talking
press conference.
stupid penalties. That's a dumb
13
penalty.
penalties, right? And he talked about it during the press conferences. And you know what he said? He said, guys, those penalties are on me. I'm not doing a very good job of coaching these kids and getting this out of them. I I'm working on it, and we're going to continue to work on those things. We got to get that better, and that's my job.
Needs
That's
to.
my job as the coach, right?
Well, he's doing terrible at it. Be honest with you. I mean, he's right.
Penalties
He's
have been
doing a
horrible
terrible
all
job.
year. Yeah.
Because I mean, that game. I mean, we should have won this game seriously, but we were up what 16-3 when that. I mean, it could have been two extra those field goals. Shit, if we would have kept those drives alive, I mean,
Should have
we're
been
talking.
it should have been a 30-point win, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you watch it and don't see the score, you're like, the Aggies win by 4 touchdowns. Because I mean, they
Yeah.
dominated the game. Look at the team stats. Go back and look at the stats, and you just said we outgained them by what 200 or 300 yards in the
Yeah,
game. We
it's
had 400
crazy.
yards of offense.
Over 400
They had
yards
less
of
than 200,
offense and only
and we
16
only beat them
points.
by
And that's the
six.
crazy part.
But
For over 400 yards of offense, only 16 points. That's the crazy part.
yeah, of course, our field goal kicker missed 2 field goals, which
Look, make those 2 field goals, and it's already a blowout, right? Like,
yeah, we don't have to sweat. We don't have to sweat till the end of the game. Like, oh shit.
you know,
And I'll tell you one another thing I didn't like was that play calling when we got the ball back and we had a chance to burn out the clock. And what was that?
yeah, I thought they were very, very conservative there that last drive.
Very.
I don't know. I think part of it was the fact that um I have a feeling that Elko had a lot of confidence in that defense, and he said, just don't do anything crazy here.
I mean, I'm talking like a quarterback run here and there or something. They made it obvious, just like they just did dive plays right at the middle.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But, I do want to say this too. I thought the offensive line really good in the run game, really, really good in the run game. Tight ends did a good job in the blocking. Hey, Martin Nyblock, that catch on third down, dude. Unreal, dude. Like great play by Marcel. Hit him. And I mean, good catch in traffic, key moment, big first down, huge, huge, huge. But I thought we saw more of Riley. Riley got in there than the other tight end, the other transfer tight end, blocker, more of a blocker guy. But I thought they did a great job in blocking up the run game, and executing that part of it. On the other end, though, in the passing game, boy, there was a couple of times they were bringing free runners on Marcel, and that offensive line just and the backs just didn't do a very good job of, you know,
Picking it
recognizing
up.
and picking things up. Owens, we saw some of his, a couple of his big runs. He had a couple big runs, nice runs. But man, he is horrible in pass protection, and boy, he can cost you because he's going to get Marcel hurt. He's going to get Marcel
What
hurt.
do you have Marcel stats in front of you? I can't remember what his completion percentage was this game.
Uh, I'll have him here in a second,
'Cause I
and
think he was above 50%, but it didn't seem like it to me. It seemed like I mean, I don't know if he's rushing the ball in some of these throws or what he's not
15 to
doing, but
22. I mean, he was pretty good. 15 to
what was
22,
that?
15 to 22. So
That's it. That's all he threw the ball was 22 times the whole
that's
game.
it. That is it. Yeah.
Well, it seems. I mean, 7 incompletion. That's not bad because he went what 17 to 37 against Notre
Yeah, I
Dame.
mean, you're talking about 65%, right? I mean, it's pretty good.
It didn't seem like that. It seemed like every time I saw him throw the ball, it was hitting the ground. He was overthrowing somebody, or it wasn't on the receivers
We
like it
ran the
was
ball
before.
47 times.
That's good. That's
Yeah, it's
and you
awesome.
won. Yeah,
So here's my thing with Marcel. I'll tell you this, and like I said, I went back and watched it, right? And I'm looking at things. And okay, the pick. Look, it's a quick little screenplay. Should be an easy throw.
gosh,
High. It's high, and he's humming it, and like just absolutely humming it out there. I mean, and don't get me wrong, could we say Bussy maybe should have caught? Yeah, maybe so, but he could have made it a lot easier for Bussy to get the ball
we threw it
instead of having to
behind
jump,
him, and yeah, he threw it high and
so
behind him.
catch it so that he can go run and make a move, right? He's got to get that ball down a little bit. Um, Ultimately, the long balls are the thing that really frustrated me the most, because he wasn't anywhere near those receivers, and they were so wide open. He just had to give him a little more
That's what I'm
time.
saying. Was he rushing the ball? Was he rushing the pass? Was he not setting his feet? I couldn't tell what he did wrong. I mean, it could have been everything. I have
Yeah,
no idea.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt like he saw it and gets excited and just you see him wind up, man. Like just holy cow, he's putting everything into it, and it's like, man, just a
Yeah,
little bit more touch, just a little bit more touch, and let those guys go
yeah,
over there and get it.
a little
Um,
bit more, a little
Those
bit,
were the
man.
two big ones to me. Those were the two big ones. I mean, the interception, like I said, yeah, it's there, and he's got to get that ball. But he's done a pretty good job on those throws earlier in the year, right? Those passes, those screen passes and things to those wide receivers, and done a really good job. He's just got to settle that one down a little bit. Um, a lot of people talking about the call. Why didn't you run it 3rd and 1? Yada yada yada. I mean, whatever, sure. But we've made those plays throughout the year, man. And it's looked good, with Mario, with KC, and with Bussy, just getting the ball out there in space and let those guys go get 7 or 8, 10, 15 sometimes, right? I mean, so I ain't mad at that, but I do think that he's gotta settle his eyes down a little bit on those deep balls, man. We've got to get those completed when they're as wide open as they were on Saturday.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a couple of other things with regards to Marcel, and he falls in love, I think, with KC sometimes. Him and KC are boys, man. He'll sit there and he'll just stay on KC, stay on KC. There was one where uh KC was on his own on the right side, and I think we had two receivers on the left. It might have been trips on the left, but the coverage was on KC side and everything, right? Like the defense was more over there than over here. And he comes in, boom, and he's looking, and he just never takes his eyes off of him, and he ends up not making the play there. So it to me, I think he got sacked actually on that one, but like he had time. If he was looking if he'd have looked the other way, he could have got it to Mario, who I think was pretty wide open, by the way. So, you know, I think he still sometimes, gets focused in on one guy. And, I think one of the best parts of this offense is the fact that we've got those receivers, so many of these weapons. Like, don't ever need to focus in on one guy. Whoever's open's open, right?
Right.
Um, yeah, the protection things have to get cleaned up a little bit on those. Um, you know, overall, once again, like you said, I mean, the numbers weren't bad. The offense still went for 400. They missed the field goals. They missed those open plays. Um, Moss is the dude, right? I mean, I don't even have to ask. I mean, player of the game, offensive player of the game. There's not even a question, is there?
No, no. I mean, KC would be the next choice, but that's about it. It wasn't. I'm looking at the team stats from the game, and Marcel, I was wondering why he didn't run the ball more. He said he carried the ball 7 times for negative 23 yards. I'm sure that's the sacks that
Yeah,
were
that's the
involved with
five.
that.
That includes the 5 sacks, right?
Yeah, but still, he wasn't running. Like he had opportunities to run,
Yeah. He had
and
that one at the end of the half. Remember, he got the first down. He took off and got the first down late, and set him up for a
yeah,
field goal. But you're right. He didn't use his legs much. There was a couple of times where he could have took off running and got a first down.
yeah. That's what my point was. I mean, he seemed like he rushed his passes on some of those deeper throws when he could have tuck and run. I mean, I really want to win a game like that going away because it should have been. It wasn't like the Notre Dame game where both teams are going back and forth. It
Right.
was it was just A&M going back and forth against themselves. Like
It was
the offense was
domination, but no points.
exactly, and it's frustrating because you're like, nothing to show for this. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Uh, and he actually, and Marcel himself said it in the press conference after the game. He's like, "Yeah, I think I probably missed a couple of times to run, a couple of opportunities to run, so on and so forth." So, you know, I'm not overly concerned about this offense. I think this they're gonna put up points. They're gonna put up points. I talked about it, before the game. I think Auburn's defense is actually pretty good. They did a pretty good job of bracketing those wide receivers and doing some things there. But you know, I thought the offense operated well. They just had those mistakes and the freaking penalties, man. I mean, every time they'd make a play, a penalty would set them back or whatever, right? Just something a little off there.
same thing happened on the defense. What did Regis do? Did he run into the punter that one time? I
Yeah,
mean,
they ran
I
into the
didn't really
punter.
see it either. I was like,
He
what?
did. He did it.
I mean, I thought maybe his fat ass just grazed him or something. It didn't seem like it was like he was. Oh,
Well,
that
he's a
that was
big
a
he's a
that
big
was a
man,
fourth
and
down stop. That was a fourth down stop that they gave a first down to him. Freaking
yeah, and then got another stop, right? So, uh, look, I mean, overall, my takeaway for this game is I thought I saw a lot of improvement from this team in the areas that we needed to see that we hadn't seen yet. And
yeah.
I'm hopeful that's going to carry forward into the rest of the season. And yeah, they still need to clean up some of the little mistakes and things and but I'm not worried about this offense.
I'm not either. I'm ready to go to Mississippi State and
So
talk
let's
shit
talk
about
about
them.
Mississippi State. They come to Kyle Field, 6:30 p.m. on the SEC network on Saturday. 4-1 with a close loss to Tennessee, 41-34 in overtime this past weekend. Boy, they could have won that. They almost won that game. Um, Look, their scoring average is about 38.6, which is 21st in the country, and they're giving up about 17.6, which is 32nd in the country. I'm pretty impressed with those defensive numbers, to be honest with you. Uh, you know, their competition, I don't know, that's been great, but still, for them to have those types of defensive numbers is pretty good. So let's talk a little bit about the matchup with the Mississippi State offense. You're looking at an offense that throws the ball 226 yards a game, rushes for 205. They're pretty balanced, man. Their rushing attack is really good. Um, and they're sort of known for that spread stuff, right? So you kind of think that, oh, they're just going to fling it around all over the place, but no, they mix it up pretty good. And their two running backs, Bothwell is a sophomore who's actually took the reins a couple of weeks ago and has been a big difference for this team offensively. I mean, they've gotten so much better over the last couple of weeks because of him. who, he kind of took it from Booth, who's the senior, and he's more of a steady downhill kind of bowling ball dude. This dude, Bothwell's explosive, man. He can make some plays. So they've added another dimension the last couple of weeks with the young guy on that end. But yeah,
Have you watched them play? Have you actually watched Mississippi State play much?
yeah, I watched a lot of that Tennessee game this past week,
I
actually.
did too, and I'll be honest, I wasn't crazy impressed. Their running game was pretty good. I mean, but they got Tennessee handed them a lot of opportunities. I mean, I'm talking like interceptions, fumbles, short fields. You're just like, okay, is this Mississippi State team moving the ball or is Tennessee giving them the damn game? Because you look at the stats from the game, and Tennessee had it's almost like the A&M game. Tennessee had 335 yards passing. Mississippi State had 180. Like, okay. I mean, rushing, yeah, they gave up 200 yards rushing, almost 198, but Tennessee still had 136 yards rushing.
Yeah,
So,
but
I
think
mean,
about that, right? They put
that's
100 and almost 200
471
yards
yards total
rushing on
offense.
Tennessee's defense, who's supposed to be good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Tennessee's defense is that good or not.
They hadn't
But
played that great the
I'll give
last couple of
Mississippi State
weeks.
something. I didn't see the game. They did beat Arizona State, who surprised me and is a decent team.
Hey, Arizona State, that's their only loss.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Arizona State just beat TCU this past weekend.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mississippi State. Its only loss was Arizona State. Yeah.
No.
No.
Arizona
Yeah,
State's
you're
only
right.
loss is Mississippi State.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
that's what I'm saying. Arizona State's impressive.
and I guess that's
Not
where
really
I'm going.
impressive.
I think this Mississippi State team, by the way, is good. It's a good that's a good football
Ah,
team, man.
I'm
Now,
not going to sit
I'm
here
not
and
saying,
like
look,
trash them,
I'm not
but I
saying
don't
they're
think they're on the
great.
same
I'm not saying
level.
they're great, but I think they're good.
I think they're more of a. I think them and Auburn would be a really good game.
I think they'll beat Auburn. And
I
here's
think their offense is better than Auburn's, but like I said, the turnover thing, man, if you depend on turnovers the whole game, Tennessee had three of them.
yeah, no doubt. But
I'm just saying.
I'll tell you this, they got offensively, they got a leader in Shapin at that quarterback position, right? A guy that's
Yeah,
been around for a long time, and his numbers aren't gaudy, but he's
no,
solid. He's a solid guy, and he's a leader for sure. They
leader,
got
yeah.
they got a pair of running backs that can do some damage. I think the young guy is really a future star. I mean, I think that guy's really good. They got
Yeah,
two wide receivers that are pretty good. Three guys really that smaller guys that may remind you a little bit of the A&M wide receiving crew, like the poor man's A&M wide receiving crew, because these guys are all under, it's like 6 foot and under. But they're quick. They catch balls and make plays. They got one dude that's a burner that it's averaging, I don't know, almost 30 yards or 20 some yards a catch and all this. So they got some guys, and ultimately that system's good. I mean, Levy's been around and been coaching offense for a long time and in good situations at Ole Miss and at Oklahoma, right? It's not like this dude doesn't know how to run an offense. I mean, and they've shown that this year so far. They've scored points. How does our defense match up against that group? What do you think?
I think we match up well against them. I think if we do what we did last week and pressure that quarterback, I don't think Chapin's going to kill us with his legs. To be honest with you, I think he don't want to run a whole lot. He wants to hand the ball off. They're probably going to move a lot of pieces around, a lot of eye candy, like we like to say. And
Right.
um, if we stay disciplined like we have been, I think they'll. I mean, A&M's seen pretty much what they're going to throw at us between Notre Dame and Auburn, and hell, even Utah State and UTSA. They did a lot of motion stuff and players stuff before the snap. So I think we've seen it all. Just we should be fine, to be honest with you. I mean, we'll give up some points, but hell, we only gave up 3 points to Auburn, to be honest with you, on defense.
No, and that's a good point. I do believe that, I think our defense has to, stop if they could stop the run and then go play those receivers, right? But, to me, interesting thing, right, with these receivers is that so their two receivers are a guy from a transfer from Georgia and a transfer from Oklahoma, and both of
Right.
those guys are having really good years. But last year's two receivers, Mario Craver is a star at A&M, and then they got the Coleman kid that's at Missouri, I think, right? That's also a big time player. So they lost two huge big time receivers. They brought in these guys from Georgia and Oklahoma, and they're still doing all right. I mean, it's interesting how that all works out. I imagine they'd rather have the guys they had last year, to be honest with you, but they're doing a pretty good job with the guys that they have. And to me, as long as you can control the run game with your front four, your linebackers, you let your secondary guys sit in and play. I think with the matchups with Will Lee and Dez on the outside and Chappelle, I think those guys match up well against those smaller wide receivers that they're going to have out there, right? And so I think you got some ability to really slow this group down. You like you said, there's going to be some points scored, but I don't anticipate that they're going to go off for 28 or even.
No, I don't see it either. And I'm just looking at some stats for Mississippi State for the season. They're +6 in the turnover battle. That's big. The Aggies are -1, and we're undefeated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's impressive. That means we're playing not mistake-free football, but we're right there at it, and we're still, even though we have the turnovers, they're +6. I mean, that's
that's great.
big.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
I mean, that's
It's a
but
huge
it's
difference.
misleading when you look at the team itself. It's like,
Well, but hey,
let's
look,
see.
they do the things that make them +6 too, right? That's part of
I
who
mean,
they
I
are.
guess.
Um,
I don't know.
yeah, and so one of the things maybe this defense wants to do is try to force some turnovers in there. But honestly, I don't think that I would take a ton of chances defensively to try to force turnovers. I think we're so good, we're good enough up front and in the secondary that we can kind of play it and just hold them, right? Like hold them down.
When you say forced turnover, I thought every defense was trying to force turnovers. What do you mean? Like, I don't get
Well,
it.
you
I
can
mean,
be more
do you
aggressive. You
go
can
into a
bring
game
more
plan saying,
blitzes.
"Hey, we're not going to try to get any turnovers this game"? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I don't get that.
No,
I'm
no, 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 no.
confused.
Not what I'm saying. I'm saying, you're not necessarily having to like try to bring a lot of blitzes and try to confuse the guys in order to force turnovers, right? And if that means we don't have six turnovers, I mean, I think that's okay. Our defense, I think, is good enough to play them straight up because when we do those things to try to, bring extra pressure, confuse them, that's when we also get a little confused at times. So be careful.
When
Um,
you say extra pressure, what are you talking about? Like bringing 6 or 7 guys, or just bringing like 5?
Sometimes I actually, don't have so much a problem bringing five, six, seven
Yeah,
guys and manning up on the back end. Uh, Bigger problem when, we kind of do some of the zone pressures where we
the
bring
drops.
everybody off one side and then drop everybody off over here, and then all of a sudden that's when we have our biggest problems, right? Our breakdowns and stuff. So
Yeah,
you got to be careful
gotcha,
in those situations, I think.
gotcha.
Um, but I like that matchup of their offense against our defense, and I think we've got an opportunity to, hold them down quite a bit, maybe have their lowest points total this year.
Because
Um,
I'm still looking at stats. So Tennessee threw for 335 yards, right?
okay.
And they beat them. Yeah, I went to overtime. I don't know how many of those yards came in overtime, but Arizona State lost to them. But Arizona State ran for like 200 and some yards, but only threw for 60 something yards. So I mean, I don't know. We're stats guys. We look at the stats like, so can they not stop the run? Can they not stop the pass? Or what?
Yeah,
Do
I
they
feel
load up
like,
for the
and so
pass in
let's
one
talk
game?
about that Mississippi State defense, right? And look, they've been pretty good this year. They're only giving up 170 yards passing a week on the rush, 135, so they're average, whatever, right?
Yeah,
But defensively in the pass game, I think they've been really good. They've been really good, and they've shown it. They showed that against Iowa State, and so that's to me. Don't try to force this thing, right? We've got a pretty good rushing offense. Let's hit them and hit them hard, and then also use that to create the big plays that we've been talking about that we need to hit. And um, look, they play. They've got like six different safeties that they get on the field and that are pretty good, man. and they play aggressive with those safeties. Their cornerbacks are good, not great, but the safety group, I think, is the key to their defense. And that's why they've got a good good against the pass. That's why, they give up some against the run because of the fact that they're playing these guys, a lot of these guys at safety, man. I mean, and so you're going to see some numbers out there with three safeties on the field at times. These guys are gonna try to take care of the pass. They're gonna make you try to force you to try to drive the field, right? They're gonna do those things. That's to me is their best unit, is that group of safeties. And if you can figure out and get one of those guys matched up against the Mario Craver or KC or Terry, but that's where you beat them, right? That's also where you beat them because none of those guys, while they're all good, they can't cover those guys one on one. So you got to figure that they're going to be doing some have some of those safeties doubling up, right? And with the additional coverage over the top, which should open up the run game, right?
I'll be honest with you. I watched that Tennessee game, and I'll tell you, the quarterback for Tennessee, I wasn't like he's not a bad player. He doesn't have a lot of zip on the ball. I don't know if you. I mean, he seemed like he
Yeah.
took a long time for that ball to get to the receiver. You're like, oh shit. I don't think that's gonna be the problem when Marcel gets out there. I don't think the opportunities for them to pick him off are gonna be there. I think we're gonna do whatever we want to do on offense,
I
and I
think we
think our
scored.
defense
I
is
think
going
we
to
scored
dominate.
big. I do think we scored big on this one. I mean, big in the
Yeah, I
probably
think.
in the 30s. I'd go in the 30s.
What'd you say the spread is for this game? Like 15?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about and here's the other thing, that defensive line doesn't put pressure, right? They're not very disruptive. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like
I think
I'm
we've
trying
got
to
a
think
pretty
of
good
it.
matchup up front too.
I'm thinking of 2 years ago when we played Mississippi State here. It was ugly. You
Yeah,
remember
so the
that?
Aggies are favored by 14 and a half. The over-under is 55 and a half. What do you think?
Oh, man, I mean, I'm a little biased because I think our offense is a lot better than their defense, and I think our defense is better than their offense. I'm not saying it's like 2 years ago where we beat them like 60 something to 7 or 14, whatever. You remember that 2 years ago? It was
Yeah.
ugly. But I think we're going to beat them I think we're going to cover the spread right there at it. And with that being said, I think the over is going to hit. So I'm thinking 41 to 24. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 38 to 21 area. How about that?
Yeah, that's both overs, right?
Yeah.
What's over under?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's one of those things that I think that's more or less at. And I think we got to, but one, I think you're covering, and two, I think that you're going over, right?
Right. Yeah, I think so too. I
Those,
think the Aggies are. I think they're going to win comfortably. I think if if Mississippi State gets forced to throw the ball, it's out of their comfort zone. The game gets away from them. Does that
all
make
right, so
sense?
let's go around the country here. Look, starting early off in the week, Florida State loses to Virginia after obviously whooping the mess out of Bama at the beginning of the year. They gave up 211 yards on the ground, turned the ball over three times. They lost to a team in Virginia that lost to NC State, right? I mean, they're not great, so it kind of a surprise. What do you think about that one?
I was very surprised. Very. I mean, I took the over in the first half. I was like, I don't think it's going to hit after I saw the first 8 minutes of the game. I was like, it's not going to hit. And they were 21-21 at halftime. And then I watched the second half, and I'll tell you, Virginia can move the ball. I was surprised. Their offense was impressive. They moved the ball. They opportunistic defense. Florida State's quarterback, I'm not real impressed with Castellanos or whatever. Never was impressed with him at Boston College. He's a quick little guy, not a great arm. But yeah, give me
Yeah,
a
clearly Alabama just didn't do a very good job against him. He's not great, right?
no.
How about Arizona State beating TCU 27-24, man? Any thoughts?
Shocker. I watched the first half of that game, and TCU I thought was in control of that game. And you and I talked, and next thing you know, hey, did you know Arizona State beat TCU? You're like, what the? Yeah, it was crazy.
Arizona State's it just feels like Arizona State's quarterback, man. He's kind of up and down, he
Yeah.
streaky or something because he looks like crap sometimes, and then all of a sudden he pulled it off, didn't he? Ohio State beat Washington 24-6. Kind
I'm
of,
still not impressed with Ohio State, to be honest with
yeah,
you.
it's kind
Because
of
I
one of
mean, I
those
don't know
games. It's
what it
like,
is.
eh.
Their offense isn't explosive or exciting. They're winning with their defense, which is great. So
Defense looks good.
yeah, that's about it.
We'll learn more about them here in the next couple of weeks. I think they got a big matchup coming up here in a few weeks. Oregon beats Penn State 30-24 in overtime.
They might be my favorite team to watch right now. They're good.
Oregon,
They're
man, that
good.
game was 3-3 at the half. Nobody looked good at the half.
Oregon was up 17-3 with like 5 minutes to go, and somehow Penn State tied it up. Never
Yeah,
should have
that
got
was
that.
that was weird. I didn't expect Penn State to bring it back, but they
In
got
the
it
over
done.
in
So
that game, we took the remember you took the under, and we were like, we're screwed because the under looked golden the whole game.
gold. I'll tell you
Same
this.
thing with the Alabama game. Go
Drew
ahead.
Aller is not very good. He's just not very good, man. I'm not very impressed with him. Uh I mean, Oregon dominated. This is like our game, right? They dominated the stat.
Exactly.
424 yards to 276. I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Ole Miss puts it on LSU 24-19. It really wasn't that close.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe the score is 24-19. I'm not impressed with LSU. I mean, Ole Miss, I'm not really that impressed with them either, to be honest with you. Neither team's like,
I liked this kid Chambliss that they've got starting at quarterback.
yeah, he's all right, but I'm just not the whole team as a whole. Just like I've been seeing the same thing from LSU all year. They're just not moving the ball. How are you not moving the ball?
The LSU offense is bad. They can't run the football, and to be
Their
honest with
offensive
you, they can't
line's bad.
protect. Yeah, they can't
Yeah,
protect.
their offensive line's
And
terrible.
and
Reminds me
everybody's
of the
been
Aggies
talking
a few
all
years
about
ago.
this defense and how great it is. They gave up 170 yards on the ground to Ole Miss. They gave up 424 total yards. I mean, I'm not impressed with LSU. I haven't seen anything from them that shows me that they're actually that good of a team.
Right.
Bama beats Georgia 24-21. First half
And
track meet, and then the entire second half, 7 points.
that's what happens when you take the over. That's what happens. Take the over. We need one more touchdown. Never get it. Never shows.
These two teams, I also don't think that either one of these two teams is the best in the SEC, by the way. The Georgia team, I am not impressed by Georgia. I'm not impressed by Gunnar Stockton. I don't think he's a good quarterback for that matter. He had like one good throw against Tennessee or whatever that everybody's all bragging on or whatever, but I'm not impressed with that group. Neither one of these two defenses can put pressure on the quarterback. Um, I mean, Alabama's offense looked good. I guess that's about as much as I could say. And in the
All right.
second week, they didn't do squat.
Real quick. Take the Aggies out of the SEC. Who's the best team in the SEC right now? Can't say the Aggies.
Man, it may be Ole Miss, but we might find out this weekend that it's Vandy. I don't know.
I was about to say, you're not even saying Vandy. What I was like, where are you at on Vandy? Damn.
No,
Can't
I
believe
mean,
that.
I don't know. I don't think so, but geez, I don't
Vandy's
know.
not getting any respect, by the way. No respect for Vandy.
All right, well, talk about Vandy. So,
I'm just saying the polls aren't giving them respect either. They're undefeated. They beat the crap out of South Carolina, Virginia Tech. Every team they played, they dominated.
I wouldn't say they dominated South Carolina.
Dude, that game seemed like a domination. Virginia
Hey,
Tech was
so
definitely a domination.
interesting on the Georgia side, your boy Thomas didn't even catch a ball. You think he's regretting that transfer to Georgia?
No, they wanted him to leave.
Well,
They
I
made
didn't
him
say
leave.
if
He
we
was
regret
forced
the
out.
transfer to Georgia. We don't regret the transfer to Georgia. I know that. I'm wondering
I'm just saying,
whether
yeah,
he
they
regrets it.
forced him out.
I
Yeah,
feel bad for
Vandy's in
Noah.
at number 16.
I feel bad for Noah. I think it was a bad decision on his part, but whatever. He could have gone a lot of other places with a more successful offense.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
Vandy, first game, beat Charleston Southern 45-3. Beat Virginia Tech 44-20. Beat South Carolina 31-7. Georgia State 70-21. Utah State 55-35.
That's the game I was thinking about. That Utah State, and that was tight. That
55, dude, they gave up that last touchdown at the end of the game to cover because we were like,
cover,
cover.
cover.
You got a backdoor cover,
No,
but
they're playing
hey,
good.
they're
They're
playing
playing. You're right.
55,
Absolutely
70,
correct.
31,
Vandy's
44, 45. They're a high scoring
100%.
team in the nation just about.
100%. Vandy's doing a great job right now. They're playing like
All right,
hell.
go ahead.
I agree with you 100%. How about Indy beating Iowa 20-15? Kind of a bad performance coming off of a big game for Indy. I guess a little bit of a trap game on that one, huh?
How do you call it? Iowa at home? You got to be a dumbass to take Indiana on the road -9. I'm just saying. I don't know who does it.
Iowa State stays unbeaten, 39-14 over Arizona, just dominates the SEC, the Big 12 right now.
And that's a weird spread on next week's game. Go ahead. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Tennessee squeaks out a game against Mississippi State 41-34 in overtime. We talked a bunch about that one already. But
Yeah.
USC losing to Illinois 34-32. Looks like same old USC, same old Lincoln Riley, no?
It's unbelievable, man. Illinois, one week to week, two different teams.
Yeah.
Don't get
I
it.
think Indiana may just be that good too.
All right, real quick, go through these week 6 games.
Some week 6 games. So one here for you, West Virginia, BYU. BYU's minus 18.5. What do you think?
BYU all day.
You're,
All day, BYU. West Virginia's bad.
you're going to give up the 18.5?
They might give up 28.5.
I like it. Kentucky at Georgia. Does Kentucky keep it close against Georgia? 20.5 is the spread.
Do you notice that Kentucky's not starting Calzada anymore, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me Georgia.
How about Iowa State at Cincy?
This is the one that's
This is the
confusing.
craziest line to me. Iowa State at Cincy. Cincinnati's favored by 1.5.
I'd be running to the bookie right now to place a bet to take Iowa State, to be honest. I mean, I just think just their body of work, they're the better team.
All right,
But
we know what we're doing.
I'm
Texas
just saying,
at Florida. Texas at Florida. Texas favored by 6.5.
Florida's offense is just awful. Texas looks like they're starting to get a little bit more grounded. Give me Texas.
Man, I think this could be one of those games. I don't know, man. I don't know. You
You
like
think
Texas?
Florida's going to beat them?
Huh.
I mean, I'd love to see it.
I might be cheering with my heart there. I'll stay away from it. How about that? I definitely want Florida to beat them.
I hear you.
Andy's at Bama. Bama's a 10.5 point favorite. What do you think about that?
If Vandy wins this game, are they for real?
Yes,
I mean, I think I'll take Vandy plus the points, to be honest with you.
I would too. I would too. I'd take the points. Boise State at Notre Dame. Obviously, we're interested in Notre Dame. Notre Dame's minus 20.5. Does Boise State?
That's a lot of points, man. It's a lot of points.
Boise State good enough to keep it close?
I don't know. I mean, that's after Notre Dame was impressive last week, man. They did whatever they wanted to. Is Arkansas and Boise about the same level? I mean, and Notre Dame's at home now. That was on the road, by the way. Got Sam Pittman fired.
Yes, he did.
I told you he looked hungry on the sideline.
For good cause. How about Virginia at Louisville? Virginia coming off of that big win. Louisville's minus 7.5.
Dude, that's those big win games where you set up, you think, hey, these guys are going to be good. And it's almost like you have to take Louisville. You know what I'm saying?
I love Louisville in that game.
I think so too.
Texas Tech at U of H. U of H or Texas Tech is minus 10.5. Texas Tech minus 10.5.
I'll tell you what, looking at that, give me the over. 50.5. I'll take the over.
Yeah, I don't dislike the over. I think I'd take Texas Tech too, by the way.
Yeah, I'd probably take the over. I don't know. Connor Wegman, I think they're going to let him loose. I think there's going to be it should be like that Miami Florida game a couple years ago that Wegman let out. And
I love it. Yeah, speaking of Miami, Miami at Florida State. Miami's favored by 4.5. Obviously, they're the number 3 team in the country against Florida State, who just lost to Virginia. I mean, what are we thinking?
dude, I mean, I'm not impressed with Carson Beck. Their offensive and defensive lines are impressive, and their speed, the team speed of Miami's impressive. And Florida State's loss to Virginia's head scratching, but we kind of saw that coming because of the you were like, hey, it's a look ahead. They got a look ahead
Look
game.
ahead.
We talked about that, and I mean, 4.5 Florida State. I think it'll be a close game. I think give me Florida State.
Yeah, we could get a bounce back there from Florida State. I definitely think so, and I'm rooting for Florida State. Hey, questions from the tailgate. What's more encouraging, offensive performance against Notre Dame or defensive performance over Auburn?
Dude, combine them both. They're both
I'm more
impressive.
encouraged by the Auburn one because I knew our offense was going to be this good. I knew,
Uh,
and it has been,
My,
right? Like I knew our offense has playmakers. I knew all these things were good, and
I need
so
to see a consistent Marcel Reese. I know what I'm going to get from Moss, our offensive line. I think I know what I'm going to get from Rio and KC. I don't know what I'm going to get from Bethel Roman with his hands. You know what I'm saying? But Marcel, I want to see more consistency throwing the ball. So I say I mean, it was encouraging with the Auburn game with the defense, but Auburn's offense sucks.
yeah. I think that's huge. I think it really gives me even more confidence in what I said earlier in the year, which is a prediction of 11-1, I believe, this year. Uh, with the remaining schedule, what game worries you the most?
Um, Missouri right
Wholly
now,
agree. 100% agree.
Missouri.
Missouri. That's the
And
one
no,
that
we
worries
won't
me
be
the most.
favored. And will we be favored in every game? No, we won't be favored in any of those road games. I don't think.
You know, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what LSU's
At
going to do.
Texas,
I don't know what
at
LSU's going to
LSU,
do. I don't know what LSU's going to do from here to then, right? I mean, I'm looking at their schedule now, and they've got South Carolina and Vanderbilt before they play us. They lose to Vanderbilt, which I can see happening. We may be
yeah,
favored in that game.
I doubt it.
We may be favored
I
in that
doubt
game. Given that we went out.
it. It's true.
Yeah, I don't know that potentially we look, we could be the higher ranked team in every game we face for the rest of the season, right?
Oh, we should be. There's nobody we're playing this hard, and as long as we win,
As long as we win.
who's going to jump us? They can't jump us. I don't
No,
think.
but I don't think anybody will jump us unless we lose, right?
Right.
And if we
But I
lose,
don't
then
think. I
Texas will
think just
jump
because
us
of
for
that,
sure.
though, I don't think we'll be favored just because we're higher ranked.
No, I agree. I do think I think we probably wouldn't be favored going to Missouri.
Because look at who was it? LSU went to Ole Miss this week, right?
Ole Miss was
LSU
favored.
was a higher ranked team.
Ole Miss was favored.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
mean,
I agree.
Iowa State's going to Cincinnati this week, and Cincinnati's favored.
No idea what the
Cincinnati's not
hell's
even
going on.
ranked.
No idea
Cincinnati's
what's
not even
going on.
ranked. So it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think the rankings mean shit.
Yeah.
It's an
Any
eyeball test,
comments?
man. Who I mean,
Any comments on the rankings, by the way? Aggies number 6 in the AP, number 5 in the coaches poll.
yeah, they're too low. I don't understand why. Why did Oklahoma passes? They lost their quarterback. Does that make
Yeah,
any
the
sense?
AP poll, Oklahoma should be behind us. I agree.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm looking up lines right now on our book to see if Iowa State's at 1.5 hours.
Well, Corey, I'm excited. I'm excited for the rest of the season. This week is a big one still. Like we got to win these home games. I think we're gonna show out this week a little bit. I expect
Yeah,
Marcel to have a bigger game this week, but I also expect our defense to continue to play well. And that's what I'm most excited about.
as long as our coaches call the game right, we didn't get nothing to worry about.
Any final comments?
Hey, just gig them, baby. Keep it up.
Diego,
Keep it up. I'm
signing out.
stoked. I'm on the wagon. I'm on the wagon.
We're definitely on the wagon.